I have spent the morning digging into the latest developments at the NovaCare complex, and it is clear that the Philadelphia Eagles front office is operating with a very specific, calculated vision this offseason. We are looking at a series of moves that redefine their approach to both the wide receiver core and the defensive rotation. From missed opportunities in free agency to strategic local acquisitions, the landscape is shifting rapidly. There is a lot to unpack, and frankly, some of these decisions carry significant weight for the upcoming season. Let us break down what is happening behind the scenes. The decision for the Philadelphia Eagles to bypass Darnell Mooney in free agency is not just a footnote, it is a profound indicator of how Howie Roseman and his personnel department are valuing the wide receiver market this year. When we look at the trajectory of the Eagles' offense, the demand for a reliable WR3 who can operate out of the slot or stretch the field horizontally is immense. Darnell Mooney presented a profile that many analysts expected the Eagles to target, specifically due to his proven track record of finding soft spots in zone coverage and his reliable hands in high-leverage situations. However, the front office clearly decided that the price point did not align with their internal valuation, and that specific hesitation tells us a great deal about their broader philosophy. The Eagles are currently balancing a tight salary cap situation, and every dollar committed to a veteran receiver has a ripple effect on their ability to retain talent in the trenches or bolster the secondary. By letting Darnell Mooney go elsewhere, Philadelphia is signaling a preference for either internal development or a more value-oriented veteran signing later in the cycle. This is a classic case of the front office betting on their ability to identify talent that isn't commanding premium market rates. We have seen this strategy work before, where the team pivots to a lesser-known commodity who fits the scheme perfectly, rather than chasing the shiny name on the open market. From a tactical standpoint, Nick Sirianni needs playmakers who can process complex route trees quickly, and while Darnell Mooney has shown that capability, the Eagles are likely looking for a specific physical profile to complement their existing stars. The internal analysis suggests they are prioritizing versatility over one-dimensional speed. This is a high-stakes game of roster construction. If the Eagles' passing attack struggles for consistency, the decision to pass on a player like Darnell Mooney will inevitably be scrutinized. However, if the savings allow them to secure a dominant edge defender or a key piece of the defensive line, the narrative shifts entirely. We are witnessing a disciplined approach that prioritizes long-term sustainability over immediate, splashy acquisitions. It is a calculated gamble, one that defines the current era of Eagles football. But even as we evaluate the offensive side of the ball, it is impossible to ignore the aggressive moves happening on the defensive front, where the team is doubling down on local connections to shore up their pass rush. The strategy here is clearly focused on chemistry and cultural fit, but that is only half of the story regarding the roster's evolution.
If you are enjoying this deep dive into the Eagles' off-season strategy, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel for more exclusive insider reporting. Your support helps us keep the content coming.
The Philadelphia Eagles have made a fascinating move to bolster their defensive front by signing a pass rusher with deep ties to both Temple and Penn State. This is quintessentially Howie Roseman. When you look at the history of the Eagles, there is a recurring theme of bringing in players who possess not just the physical tools, but also a deep understanding of the local football culture. This latest addition is designed to create a more dynamic and unpredictable pass rush rotation. By selecting a player with roots in the Philadelphia and Pennsylvania football landscape, the team is banking on a high level of comfort and immediate integration into the locker room. From a tactical perspective, this is all about optimizing the third down package. The Eagles have been vocal about their need to get home with a four-man rush, and the addition of this specific pass rusher provides the defensive coordinator with more flexibility to move chess pieces around. We are talking about a player whose college tape consistently demonstrated an elite motor and an ability to win one-on-one battles against high-level collegiate tackles. Now the challenge shifts to the NFL transition. Can that technical proficiency translate to the professional level? The scouting department at the NovaCare complex believes the answer is a resounding yes. They have analyzed the snap counts, the leverage points, and the situational awareness of this player for months, and they believe he fits the defensive scheme perfectly. This isn't just about depth, it is about finding a player who can contribute in sub-packages immediately and eventually grow into a rotational starter. The financial structure of this deal is equally impressive, as it provides the team with significant value while maintaining flexibility for future moves. When you consider the competition in the NFC
NFC East, having a deep and varied pass rush unit is non-negotiable. Every snap matters, and having fresh legs in the fourth quarter is how you close out close games against division rivals. The coaching staff is clearly impressed by the player's work ethic and his background in high-pressure college programs, which prepares him for the intensity of the Philadelphia environment. This is a move that balances immediate tactical needs with a long-term vision for the defense. It is about creating an environment where players can thrive because they are comfortable and motivated. The team is clearly aiming to build a culture of relentless effort on the defensive side of the ball, and this addition is a cornerstone of that initiative. It shows that the Eagles are not just looking at the stat sheet, they are looking at the person behind the player and how they fit into the organization's identity. As the team continues to refine its defensive identity, this signing stands out as a smart, calculated investment in the future of the franchise's pass rush. However, while the defense is getting a boost, the organization is also dealing with the fallout of past mistakes, specifically regarding a massive contract that simply has not yielded the expected results.
We need to address the elephant in the room regarding the player who signed a massive $51 million deal only to become a major disappointment for the Philadelphia Eagles. The realization that this investment failed to produce the expected on-field impact is a bitter pill for the front office, but it is one they are now dealing with directly through a truly shocking career move. This player, once touted as a cornerstone of the team's future, has reached a point where both sides had to acknowledge that the partnership was no longer viable. In the NFL, sunk costs are a reality, and Howie Roseman has never been one to shy away from cutting ties when the data proves that a move is not working. The financial ramifications of this are significant, impacting the team's salary cap flexibility for the coming seasons. But the decision to move on is about more than just the money. It is about clearing the path for players who are currently contributing and aligning with the team's competitive window. The player's journey from a high-priced free agent to this current status is a cautionary tale about the volatility of the market. When you commit that level of capital, the expectation is immediate production, and when that fails to materialize, the pressure builds exponentially. The locker room culture is paramount in Philadelphia, and the coaching staff has been careful to manage the situation to ensure it does not become a distraction. Now, as the player looks to a new chapter of his career, the Eagles are forced to pivot and adjust their roster construction strategy accordingly. This situation underscores the importance of the draft and developing talent from within, as those players are often more reliable and cost-effective than high-priced free agents. The analysis here is clear. The team must learn from this, refine their evaluation processes, and ensure that future high-value signings are backed by more comprehensive data and a clearer understanding of how the player adapts to the specific demands of the Philadelphia system. It is a tough moment for the organization, but in the world of professional football, you have to be able to turn the page quickly. The focus now shifts to how the team fills the void and moves forward with their championship aspirations. We are seeing a complete recalibration of how they approach veteran contracts, with a renewed focus on performance-based incentives and shorter-term commitments. This is the reality of managing a modern NFL roster, where every decision has a cascading effect on the team's ability to compete at the highest level. The front office is under immense pressure to get these evaluations right, and the lessons learned from this $51 million contract will undoubtedly influence every future negotiation. It has been a whirlwind of news for the Philadelphia Eagles, ranging from missed opportunities to strategic defensive additions and the sobering reality of contract management. The organization is clearly in a state of transition, and how they handle these specific hurdles will dictate their success in the coming year. I want to hear from you all. Do you think the Eagles made the right call by passing on Darnell Mooney? And what do you think about the new pass rusher joining the squad? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe to the channel. I will be back soon with more updates from the NovaCare complex.